The next 5 years, just 1,825 days. This short period will decide whether you remain just a spectator or if you join the ranks of the next decade's new millionaires. If you have Bitcoin in your portfolio right now, congratulations, you are holding a ticket to history's greatest wealth transfer. But be warned, Wall Street has entered the arena, and their goal? To shake you out and take those coins from your hands. The truth is, most people won't survive this journey. They will panic, they will sell at the wrong time, and when Bitcoin finally reaches its destination, they will be left with nothing but regret. If you plan to hold Bitcoin for the next 5 years, this video is your roadmap. Today, we are not just talking about price predictions, we are talking about survival and strategy. By the end of this video, you will have the data and the psychological edge you need to stand firm, even when the rest of the market is falling apart. For the last 12 years, Bitcoin was the playground of cypherpunks, tech geeks, and ordinary retail investors like us. It was a rebellion, but that era is now officially over. If you are holding Bitcoin today, know this: you are no longer just betting against the banking system. You are now betting alongside the world's wealthiest and most powerful entities. We call this the institutional wall. Let's look at some data that might just keep you up at night. First, let's talk about BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, who once was allergic to the very name of Bitcoin, now holds approximately 780,000 Bitcoin through their iShares Bitcoin Trust, IBIT. That represents a current market value of over $72 billion. In just a few short years, they went from zero to controlling a massive chunk of the total Bitcoin supply. Next up is MicroStrategy and their CEO, Michael Saylor. This is no longer just a software company. It is a Bitcoin black hole. Sitting in their vaults are more than 673,000 Bitcoin. They are sucking thousands of coins out of the market every single month, coins that may never see the open market again. But the list is growing faster than anyone anticipated. Grayscale is holding nearly 165,000 Bitcoin. Fidelity holds around 200,000 Bitcoin. Even Elon Musk's Tesla is quietly holding on to more than 11,500 Bitcoin. And just when we thought the buying was over, Tether, the stablecoin giant, dropped a bombshell. They closed out 2025 by snapping up another 8,888 Bitcoin, bringing their total reserves to over 96,000 BTC. This move officially cemented them as the owner of the 5th largest Bitcoin wallet on the planet. But wait, the wall gets even higher. It is not just corporations anymore. We're seeing nation-states entering the arena. Countries like El Salvador are buying Bitcoin daily. The Kingdom of Bhutan has been quietly mining and accumulating millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. The game theory is playing out right in front of our eyes. Sovereign wealth funds are watching, and when they enter, there simply won't be enough Bitcoin left for the average person. When you add it all up, these entities have taken control of over 2 million Bitcoin, removing them from circulation forever. Now, picture the scene. Every time there's a little panic in the market, every time you sell your Bitcoin out of fear because the price dropped 5%, these Wall Street giants and billionaire whales are sitting behind the curtain, smiling and scooping up your cheap coins. This is the greatest transfer of wealth in history, moving from weak hands to strong hands. They know the math. They know that it is impossible for the total Bitcoin supply to ever exceed 21 million. Therefore, we are heading towards the biggest supply shock the world has ever seen. The question is, when the world's smartest and richest people are aggressively buying Bitcoin and holding it for the next 10 years, why are you handing over your precious coins to them for a small profit? Wall Street has successfully hijacked the demand side of the market, but they cannot control the supply. That is not controlled by any CEO or government, but by code. And this is where we arrive at the most thrilling mechanism in Bitcoin's history.
Wall Street has the money, but the code has the law.
While institutions like BlackRock and Tether are fighting to buy as much as they can, the Bitcoin network remains completely indifferent. It does not care about demand. It only cares about the schedule set by Satoshi Nakamoto. We are currently living in the aftermath of the fourth halving. Before 2024, miners were producing 900 new Bitcoin every single day, but that tap has been tightened. Today, only roughly 450 Bitcoin are mined daily. That is the absolute limit. No matter how high the price goes, no matter how much BlackRock screams for more liquidity, miners cannot create a single extra coin. Now, do the math with me. We just saw that ETFs and corporations are buying thousands of Bitcoin daily. Tether alone just bought nearly 9,000 coins, but the network is only releasing 450 new coins a day. This is a simple case of economics 101. We have unlimited fiat money printing chasing an asset that is getting harder and harder to produce. We are witnessing a massive supply squeeze. And here's the scary part. The real supply is even smaller than you think. On paper, there will be 21 million Bitcoin, but in reality, we estimate that 3 to 4 million Bitcoin are lost forever, locked in forgotten hard drives, lost private keys, or the coins Satoshi never touched. This means the actual circulating supply is likely less than 17 million coins. There are 59 million millionaires in the world. If every millionaire wanted just one Bitcoin, there literally isn't enough to go around. In fact, there isn't even enough for each of them to own 0.5 Bitcoin. We are rapidly approaching a point where owning a whole Bitcoin will become a distant dream for even the wealthy. If you own Bitcoin today, you are holding the scarcest asset in human history during its most aggressive accumulation phase. The institutional wall is buying, the supply is shrinking. So what happens to the price when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? To understand that, we need to look at the price discovery phase and why $100,000 was just the starting line. So where does this all end? If institutions are the buyers and the supply is capped, what is the fair price of one Bitcoin? To answer that, we have to stop looking at charts and start looking at market caps. Right now, Bitcoin is still a teenager compared to the heavyweights of the financial world. Look at gold. Gold has been the store of value for 5,000 years. Its total market cap sits around $14 trillion. Bitcoin is currently fighting to catch up. But here is the reality check. Bitcoin is faster, more portable, more verifiable, and scarcer than gold. If Bitcoin simply matches the market cap of gold, just equals it, nothing more, the price of a single Bitcoin would skyrocket to over $600,000. And that is just the conservative estimate. Many analysts believe Bitcoin will not just replace gold, but eat into the real estate market and the bond market as a superior store of value. We're talking about a total addressable market of over $100 trillion. We're entering a phase called price discovery. This happens when an asset breaks its all-time highs and enters uncharted territory. There is no historical resistance. There are no sell walls from the past. It is just pure, unadulterated demand meeting zero supply. But there is one final player who hasn't even entered the game yet: the retail public. Right now, this rally is driven by Wall Street suits and corporate treasuries. Your neighbor hasn't bought yet. Your taxi driver isn't talking about it yet. The retail FOMO, fear of missing out, wave hasn't even started. Imagine what happens when the masses realize that their fiat currency is melting away and the only life raft, Bitcoin, is already owned by BlackRock and the whales. The panic buying will be unlike anything we've ever seen. So the strategy for this chapter is simple, but it's the hardest thing to do. Do nothing. In a bull market, the biggest enemy is your own urge to trade. You will be tempted to sell at a 20% profit, thinking you're a genius, only to watch the price double the next week. As legendary investor Jesse Livermore said, "It was never my thinking that made the big money for me. It was always my sitting." The super cycle is here. The supply is gone. The institutions are all in. Are you going to sell your future to them, or are you going to sit tight and ride the wave to financial sovereignty? The choice is yours, but remember, you don't sell your Bitcoin to buy more dollars, you sell your dollars to buy more Bitcoin. We have looked at the data. We have seen the institutional wall being built by BlackRock and Tether. We have analyzed the math behind the supply shock and the halving, and we have stared into the void of price discovery. The puzzle pieces are finally all on the table, and the picture they form is undeniable. We are witnessing the perfect storm. On one side, you have the most aggressive demand shock in history, driven by corporations and sovereign nations who have infinite fiat money to spend. On the other side, you have the most brutal supply shock in history, governed by an unchangeable code that ensures scarcity. And caught in the middle is the US dollar, the euro, and every other fiat currency that is slowly bleeding value. Many people ask, is it too late? Did I miss the boat? The answer is no, but the door is closing. We are transitioning from the phase of speculation to the phase of adoption. The days of buying Bitcoin for pennies are gone, yes, but the days of Bitcoin becoming the global standard for value are just beginning. You are still early. You are ahead of 99% of the world's population who still think this is magic internet money. But you won't be early for much longer. The next few years will define who holds the wealth of the future. Will you let short-term volatility scare you out of a long-term revolution, or will you hold the line? The institutions have made their move. The miners have done their job. Now, the final move is yours. This isn't just about getting rich, it's about opting out of a broken system and opting in to a future that is fair, open, and scarce. Welcome to the new standard. Welcome to the Bitcoin era. If this video helped you see the bigger picture, do me a favor and hit the like button. I'll see you on the moon.